Hello everybody and welcome back to another honestly sad video here on the one and only Tribal Warrior YouTube channel. Now in today's video, as you see by that unfortunate thumbnail and unfortunate title, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, John Cena, has retired from professional wrestling. So in today's video, obviously our monthly aftershock, and if you guys follow my videos, you should know by now that my aftershock is my thoughts and opinions video. But I think I'm just going to rename aftershock to, review, go back to the original one. So I want to be changing the word aftershock to review, because usually in every video I say welcome back to an aftershock video, and I just think it's, too much and I have to keep it explaining what it means. So I'm just going to stick with reviews. So welcome back to another review video, and in today's video, the show we will be reviewing is the December 13th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, or in other words, John Cena's retirement show. This was, of course, an extremely sad, emotional show, and in some cases unexpected. And the minute I woke up on Saturday morning, I had no clue that Triple H would be so hated by the end of Saturday night. So in some terms it was incredible, in other terms it was an emotional show, and in other terms it was an extremely hated show, and that was something I wasn't expected. So let's get into the show. As you know, by our recent review videos and by the review videos we always do, we're going to take a look at every match. We had 4 matches on the show. We had 1 segment. We're going to talk about all of those. We are going to slightly talk about a good quote that Cody Rhodes said. We're also going to talk a bit about Triple H, because we cannot talk about the John Cena Retirement show without talking about Triple H. We're going to be talking about my match of the night, my ratings, what did I rate the show. We're also going to be taking a look at your ratings and my predictions. So in the last video I predicted the show, so we'll also be taking a look at today which predictions I got correct and which predictions I got incorrect. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into our first match that kicked off the John Cena retirement show. So the night opened with a short champion versus champion clash. Cody Rhodes and Femi exploded out of the gate, trading power and speed as the crowd buzzed at the sight of the two eras colliding. So obviously, this match had very short builds. Other than this match, this was kind of, the only match on the entire show that actually was built up to, and it was only built up on one show, and that was Friday Night SmackDown the night before, where they both exchanged promos. But other than that, this is the only match on the show that has build, and it's very little as well. But because this match has build, it doesn't mean it's going to be good. Now, in fairness, it was good. However, I just don't think it's the match of the night, and also it was very, very lackey on time, and it was a bit kind of unfortunate how the match turned out as well. So, Femi's, he's the NXT champion. He is one of the greatest NXT champions in recent history. He is so strong. His raw strength repeatedly knocked Cody Rhodes off his feet, while the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, relied on his experience, his quick strikes, and momentum shifts to stay in control. Just as the match began to feel like it was hitting its stride, chaos erupted. There was a big pop in the crowd until the camera spanned over to Drew McIntyre, who stormed into the ring and attacked Cody Rhodes, causing an unfortunate disqualification, and which ended up being a no contest. So in my last video, I predicted that Femi was going to win this match, but unfortunately, we have no true winner, because obviously the match ended up in no contest. It was a disqualification, so we saw no real winner, all because of Drew McIntyre, and I am extremely, extremely sad that this happened. I kind of, had a little prediction in my predictions video that this was going to happen, that Drew McIntyre might get interfered and cost Cody Rhodes. But I thought, like, when the referee wasn't looking, not right in front of the referee's face, you scared off the referee, and then the referee jumped out of the ring and started ringing the bell. So I would have at least likened to have the referee not look, and then we actually have a proper winner. Drew cost Cody the match, Oba wins. But then again, I see why the WWE didn't want to do that. I see why the WWE didn't want Oba to lose. They didn't want Oba to get buried, and they didn't want to get the WWE champion buried by the NXT guy. So we're actually going to hear a lot of that in today's video of trying not to bury the other superstar. So yeah, quite unfortunate. Other than that, it was a good match, a great way to kick off the show, and yeah, great match between Cody Rhodes and Femi, but yeah, ended up in a disqualification due to a Drew McIntyre interference. But look at that photo you see in front of you guys. Femi and Drew McIntyre face off, and then Oba eventually pushed Drew to the ground. I cannot wait to see that match in the future. But yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get another Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. I have a feeling it's going to be at the next Saturday night's main event, or maybe it's going to be a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble. But yeah, they're going to build to it again, but just hopefully Drew McIntyre can actually win. So that is that first match ticked off the list. On to our next match now. So the second match was another short but entertaining match, pitting veteran style against youthful explosiveness. Bayley controlled much of the match early on, using her ring awareness and pacing to slow Sol Ruca down. The crowd, however, was firmly behind Sol Ruca, whose athletic counters and sudden bursts of offense kept the match exciting despite its limitless runtime. Yeah, so happy WWE John Cena decided to put Sol Ruca on this show. Such a good idea. Sol Ruca, this was honestly a match of the night contender for me. It was between this match and my actual match of the night, which we'll talk about later. Between this match and the other match of the night, which I mentioned there a second ago. This match, honestly, truly a banger. And if you gave this match just a tiny bit longer, an extra maybe even 10 minutes, it would have been just a classic match of the year. So honestly, unfortunate how it was so short, but the end came quickly and decisively when Sol Ruca found her opening and landed the amazing Soul Snatcher, which by the way is probably one of my favourite finishers in the WWE, followed up by a roll-up pinfall victory. The match served as a symbolic passing of the torch moment, with Bayley embracing her role as the measuring stick and Sol Ruca walking out with the biggest wing. Why did I say wing? I swear I'm not thinking of chicken wings ratting, but the biggest win of her young career in a potential match of the night. So of course, I actually predicted Sol Ruca was going to win this match. Out of all the matches on the show, I had a little feeling Sol Ruca would at least take this one home for NXT, which she indeed do. So huge congratulations to Sol Ruca. What an absolute banger match. But once again, it was an extremely short match. But at the end of the match, everyone gathered together. Obviously, Sol Ruca's tag team partner, Zarya, Bayley's tag team partner, Lyra Valkyria, they all stood in the ring together. They all took a big bow and they saluted the greatest of all time, John Cena. Now, by this exact point in the night, I was like, oh my goodness, the main event is next. These matches are like 6 minutes long. And speaking of 6 minutes, this match right here was 6 minutes and 30 seconds long. Can we just talk about that? That is extremely short. And once again, it was such an amazing match. But still, like, I guess you wanted to give John Cena that little moment at the end, you know, just a bit extra for Cena. But come on now, I'm sure Cena would have, like, and, you know, give the NXT talent a bit of time, because these matches were quite short. But yeah, I was thinking at this moment, wow, the main event is next, holy crap. But yeah, either way, the third match continued the trend as the final short contest of the evening showcased speed, chemistry, and extremely great high-flying stars. So the team of NXT's JeVon Evans and the X Division champion Leon Slater from TNA impressed early on with their athleticism, briefly catching the champions off guard. Now, before I continue, can we just talk about him in the WWE website? They said that the tag team championships were on the line. In my predictions video, I said they were on the line because I said it was in the WWE website. But no, at one point it wasn't on the line, then it was on the line, and then again it wasn't on the line. So I don't know what happened, but the titles weren't on the line basically. So obviously, as I mentioned, Evans and Slater caught the champions off guard, earning a few near falls. Why am I flipping up? Few near falls. Why am I saying that? A few near falls that woke up the crowd. Still, it was clear AJ Styles and Dragon Lee were operating on another level, as usual. Once the champions are regrouped, the ending came swiftly. Crisp teamwork and veteran timing allowed them to isolate JeVon Evans, resulting in a decisive finisher sequence for the pinfall. So yeah, once again, another great match. Honestly, all these matches on this show was a match of the night contender. And in my opinion, I don't think Cody versus Oba was. I just don't think that's a DQ really helped. And I just don't think that match was a potential match of the night. But this match, the Sol Ruca match, the John Cena match, sorry, all amazing matches. So I predicted this match to go AJ Styles and Dragon Lee's way because when I was predicting it, I thought the tag team titles were on the line. So I was like, yeah, there's no way Leon Slater and JeVon Evans are going to win. And thankfully, I did think that the tag team titles were on the line, because if the tag team titles weren't on the line, which they weren't on the line, and if I knew that in my last video, I would have predicted Leon Slater and JeVon Evans. So that's a little lucky one for me. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee winning. Yeah, another great match. And then, of course, just like the match before this, them saluting the greatest of all time, especially AJ Styles, as AJ Styles is one of John Cena's greatest rivals of all time. So obviously another beautiful moment. But then we took a break from the matches for a moment. This show was full of unexpected moments, especially this. So, just before the main event, The Miz appeared in the ring. He complained that he didn't have a match on the show. He says he was one of John Cena's greatest rivals, which I guess is right. R-Truth then interrupted. He came down to the ring and said The Miz has done something very inappropriate with Nick Aldis's balls. As obviously, as we know, The Miz stole someone's spot in the last time. It's now tournament, obviously, swapping the balls which had the names in it. So if you are a WWE, if you didn't watch the WWE and you don't have any context of that, that does obviously sound very wrong, but in R-Truth terms, he always tries to make stuff funny, and he's just an incredible comedic character. So obviously, he made that quite funny, but yeah, something very inappropriate with Nick Aldis's ball. Something, of course, R-Truth would say. So, R-Truth then revealed that the person The Miz stole an opportunity from was Joe Hendry. Former TNA star, now NXT talent, Miz said his name and he appeared. Both R-Truth and Joe Hendry took out The Miz to conclude the entertaining segment. And then, of course, you see R-Truth there on the left and Joe Hendry on the right. Two comedic characters. I had a feeling we would see them in the ring together in 2025. What would you call this tag team? Let me know down below. What would you call this tag team? These are just two incredible stars. But yeah, on to something that isn't too happy. This was again unexpected. So, of course, our main event, John Cena's final match. Obviously, the man to retire him, the ring general, Gunther. So, of course, we had John Cena versus Gunther. So, the main event was longer compared to the other matches. I think it wrapped in at 24 minutes, unfolding as an emotional war that felt heavily with history. From Cena's entrance, the crowd was fully invested, hanging on every strike, stare down, and callback to Cena's legendary career. Every five-knuckle shuffle, you can see me attitude adjustment, the crowd joined in, and it wasn't Cena sucks chance, it was Let's Go Cena the whole night, and it was just really, really beautiful. So Gunther, just saying the name Gunther is just, he's the most hated man in the WWE right now. So Gunther's brutal chops and relentless pressure clashed with Cena's heart, resilience, and refusal to quit, creating a match built on emotion and physicality. In the closing, unfortunate moments of the match, Gunther finally broke through, forcing John Cena to submit in a shocking and symbolic finish as John Cena smiled his way into retirement. And that bit really truly broke me. John Cena smiling. And you know what? In the moment, I was a bit emotional that John Cena just tapped out and his career's over. But I wasn't that emotional. But then after the show concluded is when I really got emotional. It was the point where I kept watching the replay. It kept showing on the post show. It kept popping up on social media of John Cena getting those elbows to the neck and then smiling as he tapped out. That really broke me. That smile as he tapped out really, really broke me. So that was probably the most emotional moment of the night. After the bell, the match gave way to raw emotion as Cena, soaked in the crowd's reaction, said his goodbyes and left the ring one final time, as the WWE Universe and everyone working with the WWE simply said, "Thank you, Cena." The arena stood as his career officially came to an end, closing the show not with fireworks, but with gratitude for a once in a generation icon. There will never truly be another John Cena. Thank you so much, Cena. And don't worry, we will be talking about Cena once again in a second. But now, let's just talk about Cody Rhodes for a quick minute. So, on the post show, we had a little interview. So, Jackie Redmond went over to talk with Cody Rhodes. Cody, extremely emotional. He was crying in this photo you see in front of you. Honestly, so sad. With Cena left his shoes, his armbands in the ring one final time, and just Cody wrapping it all in. It was extremely sad. But Cody said a really good quote. He said, "When it's that good, you don't want it to go." And that is just so powerful. It was really that good. His whole career, his whole 23 plus year career was so good. And now we just didn't want it to go. So obviously extremely sad. But that's just what I wanted to mention there. Just quickly, a short thing about Cody Rhodes. Just what a great quote. When it's that good, you don't want it to go. And that it really is true, especially when talking about John Cena. So when it's that good, you don't want it to go. And then this, like, I feel bad for Triple H, but I just can't help laugh. Like, he walked into this trap. Like, the WWE Universe in Washington and fans online gave Triple H a hard time. Extreme. Now, when I say extreme hatred, I mean so extreme hatred. By cursing at him, making fun of him online, and calling him the worst booker of the year. And there are some bad politicians in the world. There's bad world leaders. There's some horrible criminals. And on social media, Triple H was getting commented like they were saying that he is worse than all these criminals and all. I was just like, oh my god, this is insane. And Triple H, you walked into this trap. This is all because Gunther won. The WWE Universe wanted the greatest of all time to win, which it didn't happen, causing Triple H to get the hate as he was making the wrong booking decision, according to many around the world. So sad, and I'm really, really sad that Cena did lose, but look, that's what it is. And guess what Triple H said? He said it's best for the business. Like, oh, it's a new era again. Just Triple H. He can be funny and he can be a bit of a. I can't say the word here, but you know what I mean. So, just crazy stuff. So, Triple H, you walked into that trap yourself. It was just crazy. Like, you see this photo of him there. That was him sitting on the post show. They were all chanting AEW at him, cursing at him. And then Triple H had the courage to say in front of them, "I thought you would be louder." Just I'm not surprised he didn't get like something thrown at him. And Gunther was hated as well. Gunther had to get escorted to his car. He had to get security around him to bring him to his car just in case anyone jumped him. And did you see that video at the start of today's video of the kid screaming at John Cena, or sorry, Gunther? I put that video here at the start of the video. Like, oh my goodness, like stuff really took off after that bell went. So just crazy stuff for Triple H. So then the official ratings. So before we get into my ratings of the show, I put out this tweet immediately following Saturday night's main event. I said John Cena has retired. What did you rate the December 13th edition of Saturday night's main event? So 33% of you guys rated it a 0 to 3. By the way, these are all out of 10, so you can have 0 out of 10, 3 out of 10, or sorry, 0 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, you know, all the way to 10. Okay, so 33% of you guys rated it between a 0 and a 3 out of 10. 11% of you guys rated it a 4 between 6 out of 10. Another 33% of you guys rated it between a 7 and a 9 out of 10. And 22% of you guys rated it a 10 out of 10. So we have a draw between 0 to 3 and 7 stars. So that is a bit of a big of a gap. But like then again, a lot of people were split with this online. People were saying, oh yeah, this is the beautiful ending to John Cena's career. Not because they don't like John Cena, it's because they think it's poetic. And then some people think it's pathetic. So people, obviously, you see the pathetic people, 0 to 3, and then you see the poetic people, 7 to 9, and then you have that 22% there as well. Don't forget about that 22% who rated it a 10 out of 10. In my opinion, I rated the show a 8.5 out of 10. So I rated it an 8.5, and for those of you that actually watched my last video, not this video actually, my last Aftershock. So the Aftershock before this would have been my Survivor Series Aftershock. And believe it or not, I rated Survivor Series 2025 an 8.5 out of 10 as well. And I guess some may say that is shocking because a lot of people did hate on Survivor Series. They said it was the worst show, it was so bad. And I honestly just couldn't get why people called it bad. I honestly like really love the show. It's a great show, and yeah, I rated both these show an 8.5 out of 10. So while I was watching Survivor Series, at the end of Survivor Series, I did not think that I was going to rate this show an 8.5 as well. So honestly, a bit, didn't live up to expectations. Would you guys say that? I think this was an excellent show. The reason I rated it an 8.5 out of 10, what could have gave it a 10 out of 10 was if Cody Rhodes versus Femi didn't end in a disqualification, if that match was longer, if Sol Ruca versus Bayley was longer, if the AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus TNA and NXT was longer, and obviously if John Cena would have won the match, that would have been a perfect show, and I would have said that, yeah, 10 out of 10 show of the year. So, unfortunately, that did not happen. But yeah, that is my ratings. An 8.5 out of 10. But let's one last time finally talk about John Cena. So yeah, before we end the video, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to John Cena. You've been a huge part of my life. You just an incredible star. One of my favorite, no, if not my favorite WWE superstars, and you've impacted so many people's life. There were so many people crying when you tapped out, when the bell rung, and you're just an incredible performer. So thank you for everything you have done in your career. And speaking of everything you've done in your career, you are the greatest of all time. You are the never seen 17-time WWE champion. A matter of fact, 17-time record breaking champion. You are also a 1-time Intercontinental champion, a 5-time United States champion, a 4-time tag team champion. You granted the most Make-A-Wish wishes. You are a Grand Slam champion. You are a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, a Money in the Bank winner, and a 6-time WrestleMania main eventer. So, an incredible career for you. You've also had some great matches this year as well, and I have the list in front of me, so let's go through the list. Let's talk about your matches in 2025. So John Cena, Royal Rumble match, it was a great match. He came runner-up. Elimination Chamber match, you won the match and got your ticket to WrestleMania. You had a match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania where you won and became the WWE champion. You had a match against Randy Orton at Backlash, or Truth at Saturday night's main event. A tag team match at Money in the Bank with Logan Paul taking on Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. A one-on-one match with R-Truth on SmackDown. A match against CM Punk at Night of Champions. Another match against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And then a tag team match with Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul on SmackDown. Then you had a match against Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. Where am I? So, you also had a match against Sami Zayn on SmackDown. And with all respect, Cena, your literal worst match of your entire career against Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, and then one of your best matches of your entire career against AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. Match against Dominic Mysterio on Monday Night Raw, and then a match with Rey Mysterio and Sheamus versus the Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw. Then you lost your actual Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series against Dominic Mysterio, and then unfortunately, your last match ever against Gunther at Saturday night's main event. So, thank you, Cena, for everything. You are an absolute legend. We all love you so much. And with that being said, hashtag thank you, Cena. What a great show from the capital of America, Washington, D.C. on December 13, 2025. I rated an 8.5 out of 10. And although Cena lost, John Cena versus Gunther was my match of the night. And maybe if you gave those matches beforehand an extra bit of time, that might not even be my match of the night. I could even been Sol Ruca versus Bayley. But yeah, an incredible night. I got 2 predictions correct. I got the Sol Ruca match correct, the AJ Styles match correct, but I didn't get Cody right versus Oba because, it ended in a disqualification. So technically, I got wrong, and I had hope in John Cena, but unfortunately, he didn't win. I predicted Cena, but obviously, that unfortunately didn't happen. But that's all I got for you guys in today's video. I will see you guys in my next video. And my next video is like the last video of 2025. We're almost near the end of the year, and I think the video is actually about best moments in 2025. Something like that. I will update you next week or in a couple of days, whenever my next video will be. But I think it will be around Christmas, so the video might even come out on Christmas Day as well. I don't know. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been so incredible, and thank you, Cena, you're a legend. Thank you guys for 303 subscribers, and with that being said, thank you, Cena, and I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, remember to always, always stay tribal. See you in the next video. Thank you, Cena, on a legendary career.
So